One of the things that I could geek out about literally all day is keyword research, how to find keywords, how to actually use keywords that you can rank for, and then how to use those keywords to get you to be found in search on YouTube or your blog or whatever. So today I'm gonna just kind of walk you through the process of how I pick my keywords, how I do my keyword research, just some tips and tricks on how to pick keywords and the tools I use, and then how to use those inside of your YouTube video, in your title, your tags, etc., to actually rank in search. Let's go. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Jessica Stansberry, and I'm here to help you learn how to use content marketing to grow your business faster, to make sales on autopilot, to grow your audience, your authority, hashtag all the things on autopilot. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely hit subscribe now. Okay, so to get started, there are basically just a few ways that you are going to grow your YouTube channel really quickly, and that your YouTube videos are going to shoot up and take off and do the things that every YouTuber in the whole world wants to have happen. One of those ways is being found in search. Now, here's the really cool part about being found in search. The key to having a YouTube video take off or explode or go viral is really to be found in suggested videos. To, for somebody else's video that gets a lot of views to recommend your video, or for your video to show up on the homepage of people that YouTube thinks would find it really interesting. But there's not really an algorithmic way to do that. Like nobody can give you a formula for how to be shown on suggested videos or be shown on the homepage. But what I can give you a formula for that is really useful in the other way that you can be found on your YouTube videos that then also turns into a way to be found on suggested is on how to be found in search. So essentially, for your YouTube video to really take off and do big things, it has to be found by people first, right? And in order for YouTube to kind of see what it needs to see to then show you in suggested videos for a similar video or on the homepage, you actually have to be found for certain keywords, and your video has to, perform well. And so, especially when you're a brand new channel, it can be really hard to show up in suggested videos on channels much larger than yours. But if you will target key terms and keywords to show up in search, your video is going to get more traffic, you are going to get found by new people, and then YouTube is going to see that that video does really well, and it's going to help you get into suggested videos and search. So today, I'm going to just walk you through how I pick my keywords. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks along the way based on the size of your audience, the size of your channel, all of those things, and I'm going to show you how I then take those keywords and make them into things on my YouTube video that will then show up in search. So I don't just pick a keyword and be done with it. I use that in my title. I use it in my tags, different things like that. So let me just take you through the process. I'm going to take you into my computer and kind of show you how I pick keywords and show you what tools I use, what keywords are right for me, how I kind of go down a rabbit hole essentially to find these keywords, how you can too. And then I'll also just give you a little snippet of how I use those to make my video show up in search, which then allows them to be found by YouTube to suggest them to other people. So let's get into it. So ignore my lovely box in the background here. I can't get it out of the way. It's really heavy. So anywho, all right. So what we're going to do here is do some keyword research. First and foremost, you want to do keyword research through some kind of tool that allows you to pull numbers from Google on how many times per month something is searched, as well as how much competition there is. Okay. So what I use is a tool called Keywords Everywhere. I actually have a whole tutorial on it, but up here in the, what are these called? icons that are extensions in my Chrome browser, you'll see this black circle with a red K in it. It's called Keywords Everywhere. It used to be free. It is no longer free. However, it is very, very, very cheap. So you should be good to use it and be good, be okay with that. Now, tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ, which I love so very much, also have some keyword research in them. However, I would highly suggest you use this method rather than their built-in tools to initially find your keywords, and then you can use their tools to kind of go down a rabbit hole, if you will. So what I do is I have Keywords Everywhere installed on my Chrome browser. And then I kind of start with a basic level of what I want to talk about. So you'll see down here, I talked about how to make money blogging. So let's just use that. So when I type that in the search, it is then, because I have that tool activated, it is then going to show me, it's going to show me how many times per month it's searched and how much competition there is. I also have vidIQ, and TubeBuddy in here, so I don't know which one is giving me what, but this is giving me a volume of kind of high and kind of low and a competition of kind of low. So it scores fairly high in these rankings, within these tools too. But I really want to pay attention up here. Okay. So how to make money blogging. It has 27,000 searches a month. And there's a 0.5 competition. Now, I have done a whole video on Keywords Everywhere, which I will link. But essentially, I ignore this middle one because that's how much it would cost me to run a Google ad for a cost per click campaign. And I don't care about that when I'm doing keyword research. So how many times it's searched per month is important and how much competition there is. And it is on a scale from 0 to 1 in decimal format. So 0.5 is definitely more competition than 0.3 or 0.05 or whatever. So it kind of is high in competition if I'm looking at it like that. So for me, personally, my kind of general rule of thumb is that I try not to go after any key terms that have a higher search than I have subscribers on YouTube. That is not a foolproof method and that is not a proven method, but it works really well for me. So if you have a really small channel, you do not want to go after something that people are searching this many times a month because you're going to get beat up by all the other people who are going after these same key terms, right? So Create and Grow, they have 86,000 subscribers. Allison has 51,000 subscribers. Gillian, 341,000 subscribers. Let's see who else is down here. Yeah, there's Allison again. So there's mine. I have 62,000 subscribers. So my main goal is to keep this number under the amount of subscribers I have on my YouTube channel. Again, not foolproof, and I can promise you that it's not, but it's a really good rule of thumb for me to keep in my head. Now, that being said, if the competition is really low for a key term, I will sometimes go after things with higher volume. So if I searched for this and the volume was 100,000 a month, but the competition was 0.01, right? And my score on vidIQ or TubeBuddy was pretty high, I would probably still go after that, even though that's more and that kind of breaks my rule. So what I do first is I, type in the keyword that I'm thinking might work for me. Right? Oh, how to make money blogging. Or I can let's just do make money blogging and see what that does. And I find out what the volume is and what the competition is for the key term I'm going after, right? So with that, then I write it down if it is something that I think I could rank for. And again, that is kind of falling in that category of, is it under, or around the number of subscribers I have. Again, not foolproof. I don't want you to think I'm telling you that that's the hard and fast rule, because it's not. It's just what I keep in my head, okay? So as my subscriber number goes up, my watch time goes up, my authority inside of YouTube goes up, and that means that I can go after more competitive search terms, if that makes sense. So if you're a small channel, you wouldn't want to go after something that has a massive amount of searches. So in this example, how to make money blogging had 27,000 searches a month, and Make Money Blogging has 6,800 searches a month. So if you have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, you might want to go after this key term rather than how to make money blogging. And the really cool part of what I do next is I kind of dive down into all the different ways I could use similar key terms so that my videos kind of get paired together in suggested videos as well. So if I'm going to make one about how to make money blogging, I might make one about how to monetize a blog or how to start a blog, because these are things that YouTube and Google are suggesting for me based on the key term I have in there. So I start with a basis. I see if it's something that I feel like I can rank for, then great, that's my key term. If it's not, then I drill down into what I think I could rank for. So by doing the way I do that is that I use those suggested terms that YouTube is giving me. So it just gave me, 10 new terms that I could possibly use to rank for. So this one has 2,900 searches a month. It's a little less, so you could probably rank higher for it. If you will notice here that how to monetize a blog has less less volume per month. And it also, the people who are ranking in these top 5 slots for it, besides Neil Patel, all have much smaller channels than we were seeing on those higher searched terms. So you see how this kind of makes sense? The really cool part about this is if you see someone ranking really high for a key term that has, a smaller number of subscribers than they have views on that video, that generally means it's probably a good key term because they only have 31,000 subscribers. If every one of their subscribers, which doesn't happen anyway, watch this video one time, they would only have 31,000 views, but they have 147,000 views, which means that people who weren't subscribed to their channel are watching it, and it's being found in search or in suggested videos, so it's probably a good key term. So anywho, you want to kind of drill down in from where you start to what you actually use. So here, let's start a podcast. Let's see what this one does. So when I search for start a podcast, let me get one. I want to get one that's got a higher search volume. Okay, podcasting 101, podcasting tips. Okay, so if I look up podcasting tips, because in my brain I'm like, oh, that would be a good keyword to go after, and it's searched 9,900 times a month, and I have a small channel. Let's say my channel is, 2,000 subscribers. If I go after this key term, these people with these massive subscriber numbers are always going to rank above me. Like I will never be able to be found as one of their, or like one of the suggested videos among theirs, right? So what I would then do is say, okay, if I have 2,000 subscribers, I need to get something that has 2,000 or less volume per month. So I'm just going to click up here and see what else comes up. So how to start a podcast, how to edit a podcast, podcasting 101. Let's see what that looks like. So podcasting 101 has a volume of 1,300 searches a month. That might be something I can rank for, right? So, okay, I'm going to write that down. Podcasting 101 is something that I personally could rank for on my channel. Then I can continue to drill down. Okay, well, how to start a podcast. Let's see what that one is. How to start a podcast. So when I type that in, it is going to give me, 49,500 searches a month. I will never be able to rank for that if I have a channel of 2,000 subscribers or less, right? So that's where I'm going to, again, start drilling back down. Oh, how to edit a podcast. I wonder if that would be something that I could talk about. So 720 searches a month. So now just by typing in a very generic, basic key term, I have found at least 2 videos that, 1, I could totally talk about, and 2, I could be found for. Now, a really cool tool that some of you may not know about is, so you type in blogging and you're like, oh my gosh, I will never rank for that. It is searched 4 million times per month, right? So if you click at the end of that word, it's going to pop up 10 suggestions for you if you were searching for blogging. How to start a blog, how to make money blogging, WordPress blog, blogging tutorial for beginners, blogging 2020, how to write a blog, those kind of things. So you can start drilling down just from the suggestions inside of Google, right? So if you have a really small channel, this might be an awesome key term for you to go after, right? So, but then you can also, not only will, by the way, it's going to change every time that you drill down one other level. These suggestions are going to change every time. So one, that's a good suggestion. You want to go down a rabbit hole. Like that is my biggest advice. You don't want to there's no real massive strategy to this. You want to go down a rabbit hole of like, okay, well, I want to talk about blogging, but blogging is searched way too many times. Blogging 2020 is not quite searched enough times. So let me just continue to kind of go down this rabbit hole of the things that are being suggested for me, right? Then, again, blogging for beginners. If you click at the end of that, here's more suggestions. You could continue to dive down and drill deep. Like, hopefully during this process, you're going to come up with 10 or 15 ideas based on one initial key term you typed in. So my other suggestion for you here is that is just if you click at the end of the keyword, it's going to pop up some suggestions for you. Probably a lot of those are things you could rank for and you should use them. But if you go, after you've typed it in, if you go to the beginning and you click and you do an underscore and a space, it's going to give you even more suggestions with the keywords that you're using at the end of the suggested term. So how to do blogging for beginners, how to make money blogging for beginners, YouTube blogging for beginners, camera for blogging for beginners. So you could start to drill down from here and see like, oh, is that something that's searched and I could go after? And they're not always suggesting things that are good. Like that has 0 per month, right? So, but if you click here now, okay, how to start a YouTube channel for beginners. We started with blogging and now we're at how to start a YouTube channel for beginners and I never typed anything else in. Do you see what I mean? So you want to use an initial keyword to like, I want to rank for this keyword and drill it down until you have found key phrases and keywords that allow you to be found for them. Again, it's not a hard and fast rule, but I like to keep the searches per month under the amount of traffic you have per month or the amount of subscribers. So if you're using this same strategy to pick keywords for a blog, then you would want to keep it under the amount of visitors to your blog you have every month. So it's very different based on each thing, but it's also very, very, very similar. So I might want to go after how to start a YouTube channel for beginners and see if I can rank among these, right? And I want you to look at this. Like my video is found here, but also has very few views compared to a lot of these other views that these videos have gotten. But it's also older. So, you know, like a lot of factors play into being found in search. It's not always that you rank for a keyword. It could be the amount of people who loved your video, didn't love your video, different things that could be found in there, right? So essentially you start with one keyword, or I start with one keyword, then I kind of drill it down and see where I can really shine within that keyword. So within one keyword research brainstorm, I'm probably finding 10 to 15 keywords that I could rank for and writing them all down as future video ideas. So you have to think about what your niche is. And then you have to take that and think, well, okay, if I want this to be my niche or this is my niche, then what is the content that I should create to be found for in that niche? Then you take the keywords and you just get started and go down a rabbit hole. Like I wish I could give you a better strategy. The strategy is to use these numbers as, markers and go down a rabbit hole enough to where you get to a point where you could actually rank for a key term. Don't go after key terms, keywords, whatever we're calling it, that you could never rank for. If I'm searching for something and it's found 4 million or is searched for 4 million times a month, I'm probably not going after that right now. But if I'm looking at this, I search 2,900 a month. I could probably put out a new video talking about this and rank higher than my old video because it's newer, more relevant content. Does that make sense? So hopefully this is really helpful. Now I'm going to jump back over to my camera and talk about how I then use the chosen keyword inside of my video in different ways to actually get it to be found when people search for that thing. Okay, so that's a quick run through of how I find my keywords, what tools I use, etc. But once I get the keywords, what do I do with them, right? Like what actually happens once I understand what keyword I'm using? First and foremost, I pick my keywords prior to filming my videos. So I'm going to know kind of a general idea of what I want to talk about. So on this one, I knew I wanted to talk about how to find keywords, right? I know a general idea. But then I take to YouTube and to Google and I do the keyword research that I just showed you. Then I film my video. So I know, so here's the thing, like you can't be too far detached from the title of your video in the actual content of your video. So if I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about keywords and I recorded the video first, I may go completely off in the deep end of keywords, right? Like I may talk about what keywords are or, why you need to focus on them. Then throughout my research, I might find that I need to title this video how to find keywords. But my video content actually has nothing to do with that. One, that is going to be a problem for your audience. They're going to be like, homegirl, this is not what that video said it was going to be. But two, YouTube is not going to favor your video because the content doesn't match up with the title. People were searching for one thing, getting another, and that is not a good plan. So I do the keywords first. I pick them first. Then I will write out bullet points that I want to talk about. So I will say, okay, if I'm going to talk about how to find keywords, I need to talk about why this is important. I want to show what tools I use. I want to actually take them and show them kind of a quick little, minute or two of how I pick keywords. And then I want to tell them how I use that to actually rank the video, right? So I write out some bullet points on what I'm going to talk about. I sit down and I film the videos. Then once I've uploaded the video to YouTube to be published, that's when I start actually incorporating those keywords. First and foremost, it has to be the first part of my title. That's always the rule. So whatever the keyword is the first part of the video's title. Now, if I want to get sexy and flashy and fun with the second part of my title, I'm totally at will to do that. But the first part of my title needs to exactly match the keyword I want to rank for. Because here's the thing, YouTube needs to figure out what your video is about. Also, your viewers need to figure out what your video is about. So if they are searching for something and it's in the first part of the title of your video, YouTube's algorithm crawls your video, sees you're actually talking about what you say you are, and you're getting good response on the video, then it's going to rank really easily because you gave it everything it needed, if that makes sense. So essentially, first and foremost, I take that keyword and I put it in the first part of my title. Again, if I want to flash up the second part of my title, I totally can, and I'm okay with that, right? So how to use ClickUp, because it's the most awesome tool ever, or whatever, but how to use ClickUp was the keyword I wanted to go after. And because it's the most awesome tool ever, it's just the thing I'm using after that to kind of spice up my title so more people will click, okay? So first and foremost, after I pick the keyword, I then film the video to make sure it is on track, that the content in the video is actually what people are searching for. 2, I then use it as the first part of my title. And then 3, I use it to build out my tags. So I have a whole video on what I call the tag tree method, on how I tag my videos here on YouTube. But essentially, I use the keyword I have found that I want to go after as the starting point for my tags. So if it is like this one, what did I write down? How to use keywords on YouTube, right? How to use keywords on YouTube is the title and is the keyword I'm going after. Then what I do is I take that and I truncate it in all the ways it could be truncated that people could search for it in. And then I think of all the different ways people could search for that same thing with different words. And then I break it down from there. So like I say, I'm not going to go into like massive in-depth in that because I have a whole video about that I will definitely link above my head. But if you use your keyword as the starting point for your tags, it's going to give you a really great basis to tag your video correctly. So YouTube finds it for a certain key term, so your audience finds it for a certain key term. And then once you have a keyword that people are actually searching for, it's in the title, it is actually the content in your video, it is being found in search because of your tags in your title, and it is well liked by the people who are watching it, YouTube is going to be like, oh my gosh, so this person's video is doing really well for this key term, and this person over here searches similar things, let's show it on their homepage. Or here's this other video that's really popular for a similar keyword, let's show this girl's video on suggested. So it kind of all works together to hit on the two most popular ways that YouTube videos are found, through search and through suggested videos. So that's really what I do to make sure that my videos rank in search. It's not a magic bullet. It is literally, it's still kind of up to the YouTube gods, if you will, if they are found. But it's my method that has worked for me for years and years. So hopefully that was really helpful. Hopefully you learned a ton in this video. And if you did, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And then I would also love it if you would leave a comment below if you learned anything new, if you have any questions, all the things. And then after you give it a thumbs up, go ahead and share this video with someone else who might find it interesting. You can hit the little share button. You can share it in your own YouTube community page. You can share it with a friend on Instagram. You can send it to somebody just as a link, but share it with somebody else who might find this helpful, because I think a lot of times how I rank on YouTube or how you grow on YouTube is this massive mystery, and it shouldn't be. It should be something that's really easy done. And when this strategy is coupled with, being yourself on camera and being comfortable on camera and producing consistent content, then you cannot go wrong on the platform. So give me a thumbs up, share it with somebody else. Let me know if you loved it in the comments, and I will see you later. Bye, y'all.